What's up, basketball fans? This your boy JP. Thank y'all so much for voting on a poll last week in terms of what should I do next in my long form content, and everybody wanted me to do my personal top 10 favorite Larry Bird trash talk stories. I decided to go a little bit further on that and decided to give you an hour's worth of Larry Bird trash talk stories told by NBA legends. So I hope y'all enjoy these trash talk stories, and a lot of them is going to be from all the Larry Bird shorts and clips that I've been putting out for the past year. So thank y'all so much for the support that you have given me on my platform, and hopefully everybody enjoys these Larry Bird trash talk stories. He is the greatest trash talker of all time, no ands, ifs, or buts about it. So hopefully everybody enjoys 1 hour of Larry Bird trash talk stories told by NBA legends.
I was guarding in my rookie year. He looked at me and he goes, "You can't stop me."
Out, Larry Bird. 94-91 with 5.5 minutes to go in the game. Drexler's got to be talking to himself because he was playing terrific defense. All of a sudden he got rubbed out by McHale. Bird had about 1.5 inches, and so he buried it.
And I looked at him and I said, "Gosh, boy, you're so confident." He goes, "Confident? You're a rookie. You don't know anything." He proceeded to score like 10 straight points on me.
Kind of shooting percentage. He gets a good bounce. DJ finding Bird in the corner, floats a three-pointer. Three from downtown for Larry Bird. Mack's always been a very demonstrative coach. Well, he's been pretty quiet tonight.
Coach took me out the game.
Of course, I'll tell you what, he sees the game not necessarily slipping away, but as I say, I think the Celtics have generated much better offense in the last quarter. And you hate to have, probably the Washington game, he didn't mind losing as much because they played so bad.
He walks by and he's laughing at me.
Looking for the lead here. They're down by a point. Bird squares away. Ice cream. Doubled up. It's Bird with it. Larry, three-pointer. It's good! Oh, boy. Larry Bird, a three-point shot. He comes up the floor with a grin from ear to ear. And he winked at Ramsey. Got 34 points for Bird.
I think the story that sums up Larry the best was back then when we flew commercial, we didn't fly private. We played in a Tuesday night game in Cleveland. And of course, we got up for the first flight out. We had a game on Wednesday night in New Jersey. Snowstorm hits Cleveland. We're at the airport at 7 in the morning. Flight's canceled at 7. It's canceled at 8. It's canceled at 9. It's canceled at 10. Canceled at 11, 12. We finally leave about 1:30 or 2 in the afternoon. We fly up to New Jersey. Now the storm has kind of moved into Jersey. And the bus driver says, "Well, I can't get to the hotel, into the arena. I can only go to one place." Well, we had a game that night. We go to the arena. So we get to the arena, and we're dragging. And we're sitting around the locker room, and, and everybody's kind of, we're tired. And, and all of a sudden, the coach gives a little bit of a speech of, "Come on, man, guys, we're playing basketball. Let's get ready to go." And Larry stands up, and Larry says, a couple other few choice words, and he says, "I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to take it out on their rear ends." So I was like, "Oh, all right, so let's go." So we go on the floor. Elbert King sitting there. Larry walks up to Elbert King and goes, "Don't take this butt whooping personally. I've been eating hot dogs all day." And then Elbert King looks at him like, "You've been eating hot dogs all day? What's that got to do with me?" And we went out and just hammered him. We terrorized him. And that was Larry. There was no excuses. He just played. And I tell you, that was just his competitive nature. But a day when you fly all day and eat hot dogs in the airport, best thing was Elbert's look on his face like, "What hot dogs got to do with me?"
The one I really hated to guard was Larry Bird. He was not a nice guy. Matter of fact, there was one game in Cleveland where he was having a pretty rough first half. And
I kind of was a swing man like Pippen, and so I could guard like the 3 or the 2 or the 1 sometimes. So that night against the Celtics, I thought I was playing some pretty good defense on him. I was keeping him from, that's the one guy I was quicker than, so I could stay with him. But I think in the first half, he was like 1 for 9 or something like that.
And in the old days in Cleveland, you walked off the court the same way at halftime. And I kind of puffed up on him and walked beside him and was like, "Yeah, you're 1 for 10. I was like, "That's defense, And he just kind of looked at me and said, "There's 2 halves." And
that when we came out in the second half, that's when he told me, "Yeah, I hope your mom's not watching because I'm about to embarrass you." And I was like, "Why would you do that? Why would you say that to me?"
And hit about 10 in a row on me, and the last one was left-handed, and he asked me if my mother was watching because he wanted to embarrass me. So
he wound up with like 31. So it was embarrassing. And I did call her and ask her, and she was like, "Yes, I was watching." So,
and I was embarrassed.
I was embarrassed, yeah.
Larry Bird will tell you where he wanted to go. He'll shoot it in your face. He'll tell you, "I'll give you a Christmas present. Open up this jumper." And then if he tell you, listen, one time we was playing in the Boston Garden and Xavier McDaniel was guarding, and him and Xavier got into it. And, because how Xavier was. And Xavier kept getting on him. And he said, "You know what? I'm gonna hit 3-4 jumpers in a row all net. If I don't do it, it's gonna be a problem, and I'm gonna make sure I will do it." And next thing you know, they were blowing us out, and he went out, and all of a sudden Xavier was still in the game. And next thing you know, I look up at the shot clock, and Larry Bird coming back in. Like, what? And then all of a sudden he walked over to our bench. He said, "I told Xavier that what I was going to do to him, and I didn't do it, so I had to come back in and do it." And as soon as he got the ball, they gave him the ball 3 times. He hit 3 jump shots all net. Then he walked by our bench. He said, "I told you what I'm going to do, and I'm always going to do it." And he looked at Xavier, and he said, "Didn't I tell you what I was going to do?" And then he walked out. Man, Larry said, "Man, I'm going to give it to you any way I want to. 1 dribble, 2 dribbles, step back, and then I'm going to hit it." And I was like, this dude real cold, man. And y'all got to understand, he wasn't even at full tilt. He was having back issues and everything because I only played against him for 2 years. So I was like, I seen him.
You didn't even get prime bird. You didn't even get prime bird.
I didn't even get prime bird, and I seen him at the tail end, and I was like, man, this dude is cold.
Well, Kevin McHale scored 57 one night.
He had about 3 or 4 minutes to go in the game, and we were up by a pretty good margin, and he asked the coach to take him out. And
Larry came up and said, "Hey, man, you got to roll and you got to stay in the game. If I get a chance, believe me, I'm not stopping."
Because 56 is not enough. That will be broke.
So Bird said, "I'm going to break your record against Atlanta." I'm like, won't get 55, not here.
The day of the game, I got up and I couldn't hardly move. And the reason for that is I ran in a 5-mile race. Before the game, I was over an hour and a half before the game, was doing everything I could to get loose. And finally, right before game time, they felt really good and played. And
I walked on the court and we're playing the Celtics. And he tells me, "Yeah, big fella, you're in a little trouble tonight." So he made a few moves. I stole the ball from him. I went down, took off, dunked on his head hard. Boom. Came down another one. Boom. Yeah, baby Hawk's my behind. You in trouble. And I'm running my mouth. And then Dominique obviously got him fired up because Dominique was scoring at will. Larry just decided, that's it. I'm finna light this whole team up.
He got so hot in that game. He was scoring anywhere on the floor.
Larry, that game was unbelievable. Just absolutely unbelievable. Dominique guarded him, Cliff guarded him, Antoine Carr guarded him, I guarded him.
Ricky Brown guarded him, Sly Williams guarded him. I mean, everybody had some of that 60. He gave everybody. It was like he just spread the wealth to everyone.
He started calling the shots. He started saying off the glass, who's next, where you want this one from. And he just made one after another.
Left side, over across the 3, and you're listening to him. That's a tough feeling.
When he got to about the 55th point, you knew it was something special.
He was so good that night that the Hawks were giving each other 5.
He makes a jump shot, and the Atlanta players are high-fiving each other like, man, this guy's so hot.
Watch Cliff Livingston over here. I think this is Cliff.
He said,
Rainbow trainer's lap.
coming down the court.
So I ran at him hard, fouled him,
hit the shot.
So well that it's like he almost dunked on me because the ball went down through the net and you could hear that pow.
He fell into our trainer's lap. It was an N1 3-point shot. That's when I got off the bench. I'm waving the towel, slapping the other high fives down the bench. And
next play, when we come out, I'm going to win the game on this spot, and I'm going to bust you right in your face. Right? You come out, that spot, shoot, game over.
60, and that's what I did.
My rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
My rookie year, we at the Boston Garden.
Mm-hmm.
And Larry Bird, back then he was. I only played against Larry for 1 year, my rookie year. His back was going out on it was gone. But he could still shoot. That's the last thing to leave. Okay, is your shot. So I check into the game. Larry Bird is in there, and he's running up and down the court, stiff back and all. He's in the corner. He gets the basketball, and he's looking at me, and he goes, "Come here, rookie. Come here, rookie." And I'm like, "Damn, Larry Bird know I'm a rookie." So I didn't even know Larry Bird knew who I was. Right? So come here, rookie. Come here, rookie. So you know how he puts the ball behind his head like this? He knocks down the three and runs down the court, and he looks at me. He's like, "You dumb rookie." I went for it, and I'll never forget that, man. I mean, I'm playing against Larry Bird, bro.
The All-Star game is in Dallas, the first 3-point contest. And he just starts looking at guys, doesn't say a word.
Who were some of the guys in the competition at that time when you walked in? Who was in that field? Come on, Coach,
No, I don't really remember.
Dale Ellis.
Yeah, Dale. What's
Hodges?
The kid that's Hodges. The kid that's refereeing now. The one that always.
Lester.
Leon Wood.
Leon Wood.
Leon Wood never crossed the 3-point line. All he did was he always shot threes. So I thought he might be the competition. And because I seen him shoot before games, he'd knock him down.
So we're in the room getting ready for the 3-point contest at an All-Star game.
When I walked in there, he's sitting there, and I said, "Boy, them red, white, and blue balls are so slippery, I can't hold on to them." And the next time I came, I said, "Okay, now they're down in the nitty-gritty.
Everybody's in there, all these great shooters. Bird walked into
Who's coming in second? You already know who's going to win this."
I was really just teasing, really a joke.
What was the reaction after you said that? Like, oh, that's just Larry Legend, or did it get dead silence in there?
It was silence. I think they were a little nervous.
I like it.
I think they were nervous.
It just came out. I had no clue I was going to win it.
Y'all heard me. Which one of y'all gonna come in second place? I was like, damn, that was like my first real talk to him. Ooh, that sounded pretty aggressive. Man, you could have, the room just went, all the air went out the room. You could have heard a pin drop. And I just said, yep, you guys in trouble. He won, though. He won.
That chick's had my name on it for a week now, and I knew I was going to win this thing. I've been practicing. My teammates said I wasn't going to win it, but I came back and lucked out, really.
So Larry Bird, you said it, he was my guy. I loved him. My favorite player, still is my favorite player. So my rookie year, going up against him, I check in the game, I'm guarding Larry. So
perfect.
Yeah. So I figured after about 10 minutes, I caught myself and I said, well, I better stop idolizing this guy. I should probably start guarding him because he's killing me. But in the process, there was a ball out of bounds on the side, and Larry's standing underneath the basket. And next to me is, I think it was Robert Parrish and Mark West. So Larry looks at Mark and he says, hey, Mark, he said, we're going to inbound the ball. I'm going to come off a screen from Robert, catch it at the top of the key. I'm going to turn. I'm going to look at the rookie. I'm going to laugh, and I'm going to shoot it and make it. Good. And he's saying this right in front of me.
Yeah. Hey, Larry, I'm right here.
Hold on. Am I the rookie? I'm like, you talking about me? So they inbound the ball. They inbounds the ball. Larry goes up, comes off of Robert Parrish, catches at the top of the key, turns, looks at me, laughs, shoots it, and makes it, and then just jogs down the floor.
And that's exactly what he did. And I'm sitting there. That just happened. That's pretty cool.
But did he talk to you, or you weren't
He
good
talked
enough?
through me. He never addressed me.
I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you're a rookie.
He wouldn't talk. He wouldn't.
I could imagine.
He had no time for me. He just talked right through me to Mark West and told him what he's going to. Like, I wasn't even there.
And did Mark West going?
Mark was like, all right,
okay,
then.
all right.
You probably will.
Hey,
Good luck.
I remember Rodney Rogers just joking and said something to Larry Bird like,
Hey, Larry, you ain't hit a jumper since 84.
it was kind of a joke, like you're an old man type deal.
Magic heard that shit.
Magic kind of looking. It's like he wasn't offended, but it was like he's logging it. Magic made it an emphasis to get the ball to Larry Bird.
Magic Johnson fed Larry Bird the ball probably about 8 times in a row down court.
I knew Magic was going to pass me the ball. I had a 6'6" kid guard me.
that don't work.
Larry Bird got the ball on Rodney Rogers, and every time he was about to make a move, he told him what he was going to do. One dribble, pull up, going left, off glass. One dribble, high off glass. One dribble going right, spin, shot, bucket. One dribble, pull up right. And he'll do it, make the basket, next play down. One dribble, pull up left. Oh, I'm going to the basket now, high off the glass, left hand.
I saw Larry Bird say to Rodney Rogers, he went like this. All of a sudden, Rodney Rogers flies by in slow motion, and he's like, welcome to the parachute club.
And Rodney couldn't do anything about it. I saw Larry Bird do exactly what he said he was going to do.
He scored 9 times or 8 times in a row and said, young fella, look like 84, huh?
Last time he made
Even though Larry's back was hurting, that boy could still shoot that basketball. And the net didn't move. And he'd sit there and shoot and talk to you at the same time.
I'll give you a quick Larry Bird story. Coming into the league, I always looked at Larry Bird. I was like, okay, he's really good, but how good is he? I'm a rookie. We play the Boston Celtics. And guess who has to guard Larry Bird at the 4 position? So I'm like, yes. see what's up with this guy. So Larry gets me ISO'd on the wing. He just kind of looks at me, right? So he gives me the 1, the 2, and I was like to myself, all right, here it comes. He raises up, he shoots it. I jump to the moon. Nothing. Tap his hand like that, right? So when I come down, I turn back and I look real quick. All I see is the ball going through. Boom! 3, right? It gets me out on the wing again. So he damn straight looks at me again. It's the look of, what are you doing? Like, that's how Larry's looking at me, like, who are you? Kind of thing, right? So I shade to the right. Same move, 1, 2, and I'm like, Same result. Swinging with everything I got. Hit his hand on the release. I look back. Ball. Boop, another 3. So Larry Brown calls a timeout, and Larry can see, I'm flustered. Like, I'm a little bit. Larry taps me, he's like, listen, kiddo, the guy's a great player. Don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged. And then he subs me out. And then I'm sitting on the bench, right?
Before we continue with Larry Bird stories, I want to give a shout out to Manscaped for being a partner with Itzjustjp. All right, who pairs this playoff time where legends are made, underdogs rise, and grown men yell at their TVs like they're coaching the game. But while the NBA stars are getting swatted on the court, you better make sure your grooming game isn't getting blocked in the bathroom. Introducing the Build and Balls bundle from Manscaped with the Build Hedger for the perfect facial hair lineup and the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra to keep you smooth from head to toe. You'll be ready to dominate. Head over to manscaped.com, use code ITSJP at manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping. Score big with the Build and Balls bundle and be the MVP of your own grooming game. Introducing the Build Hedger precision trimmer with 20 length settings to keep your facial hair in check from stubble to full build. No mess, just smooth, professional results. I know LeBron James uses a lot of the Build Hedger from Manscaped because his full build just looks so great on him every time he step out on the floor, especially in the playoffs, to make sure he has a really big game. So shout out to you, LeBron, for using the Build Hedger. And also the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra with interchangeable blade heads and skin-safe technology. This versatile tool handles everything from growing the body hair, giving you that clean, fresh feel all over. I know Derrick be using a lot of that too as well. He's so versatile on the court, doing everything from scoring, playing defense, to passing the ball, to playing point guard. He does everything, and I know he does a lot. He uses a lot of the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra from Manscaped. Shout out to Derrick White. Both tools are waterproof, making it easy to groom wherever you need, whether it's a pre-game prep, in the shower, or a quick touch-up during halftime. The ultimate grooming combo, 2 powerhouse tools, 1 perfect bundle. Look sharp, feel fresh, never fumble your grooming game. Manscaped has a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can try it risk-free, which is great. Be the champion of your own grooming routine with Manscaped's full Power Shave portfolio. Head to manscaped.com and use code ITJP for 20% off and free shipping. Or if you need it today, you can find Manscaped at a store near you. Don't miss this opportunity. Your face and balls will thank you.
What was the best trash talk Bird ever said to you?
I remember the first time I played against Bird. And I'm a rookie, you know. I'm glad to be in the league. You know, I'm in the Boston Garden, and I'm in awe because this, you know,
the banner.
This is, you know, mystique of the Boston Garden. We was at the jump circle. I'm excited. I'm playing against Larry Bird. I go shake his hand. He put both hands behind his back. You know, like, he wouldn't shake my hand. Back then, guys just...
He wouldn't shake your hand?
Wouldn't shake my hand. He would look at me and just nod, right? I'm like, you know what? Maybe he's just getting into the game, you know. And I'm trying to give him the benefit down. The first play of the game, I'm guarding him because we play the same position. He's coming down the court, and I'm guarding him. He looks at me. He said, I don't know why they got you guarding me, Holmes. I was like, huh? And he shoots a three. I said, okay. And I wasn't mad he made the three, but I said, did this some just called me Holmes? Oh no. Next time he comes down, he said, you don't even belong in this league. He hits another three. And now I'm really mad now.
Right.
I just got burnt 3 or 4 times by Larry.
It's set up for a really interesting game. So I looked at Eddie Johnson. So you see me on the wing, pitch me the ball.
You got to get out of the way.
The next time down, I came down, he comes out, he shifts to his right, and I go up in a fast break, and he comes out, and I'm pumping it behind my head, and he jumps. I said, I got him. Boom. He laying on the ground. He fouled me and pointing like this.
That was probably just a dunk out of anger.
I was trying to figure out why Larry Bird jumped. Because it was Nick's rookie year. He didn't know better. And that would break your fingers. Like, you would have your fingers broke if you really put your hand out there. You know, because not only he dunked it, he cocked it behind his head. Larry Bird was just at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Dominic dunked for me one time so hard, it almost killed me. So every time I played him, I was trying to do my best.
He said, hey, Rook. I'm like, what? He said, I like you. You got balls. You got heart. He said, but I'm still getting 30 on your
Who was the best trash talker you played against?
Larry Bird.
Everybody says that.
He's the GOAT. He's the best trash talker ever.
He is the GOAT of trash talkers, Bird. So, like, so what was the fun? Like, did he say anything to you? Like, was he funny? Was he mean? Like, what did he do?
I was surprised because this particular time Price was out and I was starting against the Celtics.
Yeah.
And he was killing us. And he said, hey, Rook, tell Coach Lenny Wilkins why he got this white kid, Craig Elo, guard me. You better put a brother on me. And I said, what?
He was offended. He was offended.
I want to say, you know, remember, you white, right?
Yeah, right. Nah, he wasn't.
He's the most black white dude ever played in the NBA.
Oh, my God. That is so funny.
Man, he was a legend for real.
Larry shooting a three-pointer, and then I called a timeout, and they didn't count the three-pointer. So he's very upset with that, so I diagrammed the play. He says, heck with the play, Case. Give me the ball and tell all the rest of the guys to get out of the way. I said, shut up, Larry. I'm the coach here. Okay. All right. Dennis, you take the ball out, give it to Kevin, then you throw it to Larry, and everybody get the hell out of the way. And then true to his word, in Phoenix, he goes down before the ball is thrown in, and he's standing right in front of the Phoenix bench, and he looks at all the guys on the bench and says, I'm getting the ball, I'm going to put it in the hoop. And he says, watch my hand as I follow through. The ball is thrown into Kevin. Kevin gets to Larry. Larry fires it up, puts his hand in the air as he continues on to the dressing room. Now that's what you call arrogance.
Best Larry Bird story would have been one of them. I had quite a few, but I think if I had to pick one, it would be the time I was on the floor with the great Pete Maravich, who was on our team at that time. We had Pete at the end of his career, and we had Larry in the beginning stages of his career. So Pete passes the ball to Larry, to Larry. Pete's man runs down and double teams Larry. Larry puts some fucked up shot. It goes astray. And we come back to the bench, and Pete goes, Larry, you're being double teamed, man. You got to pass the ball. And Larry looked up and said, if you were any fucking good, there would be double teaming me. I was thinking in my mind, that's going to leave a mark. Wait a minute. This dude was a Hall of Famer, man. He was one of the best players ever to play the game. And Larry just insulted me. This was cool. This was his damn teammate. This is his teammate.
When he came to me, he said, "What's up, Sal? I got in the game." And he was like, "Oh, you starting tonight?" I go, "Yep, I got you." He said, "Y'all double teaming?" I said, "Nah, I got you straight up." He said, "Y'all not double teaming me?" He said, change the play. He said, mouse in the house. And inside pivot, shot it. He said, "Gonna be a long night, Sal." I was like, wow. But he was seriously, and people don't realize, he's 6'9".
Yeah.
You know, they for some reason they think he's a small dude. No, he's 6'9".
Big.
How Luka moves is how Larry moves. Larry did it all.
Larry
Played defense, passed the ball,
rebound, everything.
Rebound, new situation, new time clock. You can see he wasn't thinking about anything else but the game.
Yeah.
There was no timeout. You know, we're looking in the crowd, looking at girls and asking for, you know, make sure you got my hot dogs in the locker room. Whatever. You know, none of that. It was only basketball.
Yeah, he was special.
Larry Bird would say to me, we walk out and you ever see him on a layup line, it looks like he doesn't talk. And then he gets out in the what you call it, and you know, you're supposed to be giving people 5. He won't shake your hand. He was like, "I'm giving you 30." And you look around like, what? You're getting 30 tonight. Yeah. I'm giving you 30 tonight.
Yeah.
And would adjusting his tight shorts, and you believe him because he would give you 30. He would give everybody 30, and in the flow of a game. You know what? Another thing, it seemed like he never listened to the coach. It just seemed like they talked to everybody else and that Larry just play. So he was definitely a smack talker and backed it up
every single night.
He's probably the best trash talker. And you know the best thing about Larry now? He's so buttoned down now. He's just like, I didn't do that. Man, that guy lies. He was the best trash talker. He denies everything.
Can you tell a Larry story? I haven't heard much of him, any stories about him talking trash, and he's so quiet. Yeah, it's just every other time, and I never got to play on the court or see. But can you tell a story like something you remember?
One of there's a million of them, but one of my favorite ones is
Danny one time said he came in and Danny had a big fourth quarter, and Danny comes in, he goes, I'm our best fourth quarter player. And Larry's sitting there. Larry was funny. Larry had a great sense of humor. People don't know. Larry's hilarious. Bertie's tying his shoes, and he kind of looks up and he goes, "Well, hell, I hope so, because your man's either standing by me or Kevin the whole fourth quarter." He goes, "You're playing by yourself."
That was Bertie. He had the confidence. Man, that dude had so much confidence. He talked to the coaches. He talked to everybody.
When my first game going up against Larry Bird, where he's shooting like 10 feet behind the three-point line, Phil had designed a defensive play with me and Horace to switch. So, Stacey, when you switch out to Larry, deny him the ball and make him get as far past the three-point line as possible. So when I'm guarding Larry, I'm on the three-point line. Shot clock's winding down. He's telling me, "Hey, Rook, you gonna give me this shot?" I'm like, "There's no way in the world you're gonna take this shot." He goes, "If I take this shot and make it, you're coming out the game." And this is the Boston Garden. The crowd was going crazy. Shot clock's winding down. You hear Phil Jackson, "Get up on him. Get up on him." I'm waving Phil off like, "Shut up, man. I'm right here. I'm on the three-point line. What is he going to do?" The shot clock's going down. 5, 4. Just jumps up, squares up, shoots the ball from that hash mark on the side, right by the score table. Knocks it down. The crowd goes crazy. The horn blows. Someone's coming in for me. It's Scotty. As I'm going out, he said, "I told you. What'd I tell you? If I hit that shot, you was going out. Now go sit your little young ass down." So I walk over to the bench, and I'm mad because he's talking trash. Comes back in another play. He's sitting in the corner in front of our bench, and he said, "Hey, Rook, guess what? Don't feel bad. I do your boy Pip like this all the time."
I mean, it was insulted because it was on the court, and the insulted about it was that I jumped out on him, and I was in my defensive stance, and I was like, "Okay, I got Larry the legend." Man, you know what he said? "Hey, Mayhorn," and I hate when somebody says my name wrong. "Hey, Mayhorn," with his French lick tone. "You got me," and I'm sitting there going like, "Yeah, I got you. Come on." Man, he just yelled out, "Clear." I said, "This motherfucker just didn't say clear." Oh, now, I'm hitting the floor like I'm ready to get up in him. Next thing you know, he shoots the ball, and he shoots it and says,
your face just as he released it. So in one of those surreal moments, I'm sitting there looking at the ball going, and then at the same time, he already shot it and was running down the court. I said, this SO, this son of a just made a shot. That's when I knew. I was like, oh man, this dude is one bad. And Larry Bird done whooped a lot of people and talked a lot of trash.
So I didn't like Larry. In fact, I was so stupid that I didn't even really think he was very good. Okay. And then I stepped out on the floor with him the very first game, and Kelly Tripucka was standing beside him on my team. And now I see Larry's 6'9". He's big as a doorway. I thought he was like 6'6". I didn't.
No, he's 6'9".
No, big. And he looked over at Kelly and said, he looked around and said, Tripucka's going to guard me? And we all kind of just looked, and he went, and they got the tip, and he just went 4 down, 4 down, 4 down, and walked Kelly right into the post. He had a triple-double in the first half.
Wow.
Yeah, he's just different good. His ability to pass.
Brown. Nicely done.
He plays at his pace.
Bird's open. Got it outside. Wants the ball on Tripucka. Over Kelly.
Well, he's taken about 12 of those shots.
Larry Bird, to me, it was so much fun playing against him because he talked so much shit. The story goes that when he played against Denver, they had a guy named John Hanslick. You remember John Hanslick?
No, I don't
6'7", Notre Dame guy, white guy, really good defender, right?
Okay.
They put him on Larry, and Larry was wearing his ass out.
Absolutely.
And Larry would run by the bench and tell Doug Moe, who was the coach, get him off me. That's disrespectful. No, that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
And he was like, what's disrespectful?
Yeah.
He says, disrespectful for y'all to put a white guy on me.
Yeah.
Put a black guy on me. Put a black guy on me. That's why he gives Coop so much. He still says to this day, Coop is the best defender he's ever played against.
Wow. Really?
But he was like, you're disrespecting me by putting a white guy on me.
I feel you.
But that's Larry, because when he played back in the day, that's all he played against was brothers. So he was like, don't put no white guy on me. That's disrespect. So when they did that, he said, I had to torch his ass so they understand.
You ain't gonna see him again.
Get him off me. Yeah. But that was Larry Bird.
The best shit talkers in the NBA. Larry Bird was one. I'll never forget, this is a great story. I got a chance to play against Larry Bird, and I knew everybody in Knickerbocker, all Irish, Catholic, Italians were going to be watching, all the brothers and black and brown people going to be watching on this side. So he struts back like only Larry Bird can do. You know, he trotting back, he looks over at the bench, and he goes, hey, coach, put the rookie in. Yeah, put me in. And I go in, I go, yeah, what you want to do? Come on, baby, let's go. Let's get it on. And he gives me a pump fake, and I jump clear across his head. And when I come back down, he looks at me and goes, stupid rookie, boom, and hits a three-pointers. And he's laughing hysterical, goes, you're not going to jump against the Birdman? Whap, hits another one. So 6 points in not 25 seconds. Just gives me a pump fake, crosses over, hits another. Got 9 points. Now I'm starting to think when we run back down, maybe I shouldn't play basketball. Maybe I wasn't that good. Maybe I should have been a brick mason. I can't go home now. If this guy scores one more bucket, I'm thinking suicide. It really was. I was like, what the? That's how bad. I went back down, and I was like, well, I bet you can't take me in the post. He goes, post me up. 5 down, he calls. They throw the ball in the post. He pump fake, goes around and dunks on me. Now I'm like, oh, shit. I got dunked on by a white man who's on the end of his career.
Can never
Larry
go home
Bird.
again.
It's a wrap now. The only thing on my
how
mind
Julius felt.
is Mayflower. And you know what Mayflower is, right? That's the moving company. 1-800-Mayflower. I got to move out of the neighborhood. And then he just gets another one. And now he ends up with about 14 points on me. And I'm like devastated. Second half starts. And I'm on the bench, and he starts lighting up Charles Barkley again. He's lighting up Rick Mahorn. Then he's lighting up Arm McGillian, right? And the coach comes down to the bench. You got nobody else to put in the game. And he looks at me, and I start looking into the stands with the fans. I wouldn't give no eye contact to Jimmy Lyon and the coach. And I'm like, please, don't put me back in there with that white guy. Please, whatever you do. It was the first time in my life I was ever scared to be go into a basketball game.
You was on the court when Doc and Larry got into it. What caused that?
Larry Bird was a great trash talker. He's like, Charles, and he's screaming it too. Everybody can hear it. Y'all better get this old man off me. I'm telling you. And he's just roasting Doc.
Yeah.
He's like, and this was Doc last year, I think. He was right there. It was either last year or the year before. And he's killing Doc. And he's like, Chuck, I'm telling you for the last time, You better get over here because I'm going to kill this old man. And it goes on up and down. And Larry just killing him. And Doc had just had enough. They come together, and I just kind of grabbed Larry. I'm not even looking at Doc. When I went back and looked at the tape, Doc was nailing his ass. I was just trying to pull guys apart.
Yeah, but you know you can't ever fight. You can't grab one unless somebody grab you. Hey, you grab him.
I grabbed Larry because I didn't want him hitting Doc.
But ain't nobody grab Doc.
I know. I know. But you just said something. If I grab Doc and Larry started pummeling, I can't go back to Philly.
You're right.
Larry's I tell you, Larry Bird was one of the best trash talkers ever.
The next time I faced Larry, about 3 weeks later, and I was playing good minutes. I was playing, and so he comes in to Kansas City, and I'm ready for him. Same stuff. He talking junk. Oh, I got you again, huh? I say, yeah, you got me again. I proceed. I'm just wearing him out. One of my hot games. I'm wearing him out. But he still got about 25. It's not like he ain't wearing me out. He looked at me, and he's like, okay. So he said something to me I didn't like. So I said, okay, I'm going to get him. So I went in, I drove, I gave him an up fake. All I cared about was inflicting some pain.
Yeah.
Caught him with an elbow when I went up. And luckily, the ball went in, and they called a foul on him. And I knew he was staring at me, and I knew this was going to escalate. I'm standing there at the free throw line. Before they gave it to me, all you can do is score, what he said. All you can do is score. And I noticed that he was bleeding. And I said, I can make you bleed, too. And Robert Parrish was standing there. Robert Parrish kind of giggled. Came in. Jerry Reynolds was, he's from French Lick, and he was assistant coach on our team. I look up, I'm in there getting dressed, and Larry walks into the locker room. I'm like, oh boy, okay, this is getting ready to get ugly. So I heard him get my stuff on. I'm like, I might have to fight this fool, you know? And he's just looking at me. Walks over, and he reaches into his pocket. And at that time, you know how hotel keys used to be. There wasn't a card.
Yeah.
It was just it was a key.
key
Big, heavy thing, you know, you couldn't lose it. He tosses it to me. We can finish this at the hotel.
What?
Oh, yeah.
That's a maniac, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I grabbed the keys. I looked at him. I said, now, hold up. You want me to come over to your hotel room? I'm going to walk up there, and McHale's hiding around the corner. Parrish going to help you. I said, no. We can go somewhere else. And he looks at me, and he says, give me my key back. And I threw the key back. He said, I like you.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He said, I like you.
Larry Bird was one of the biggest trash talkers in basketball. He told me two things one game. You know, our rotations, double teaming Kevin McHale, always had to rotate to the corner, and Larry Bird was the one shooting it. You know, so he shot one, and I mean, I'm trying to block this shot, and he would just tell me, Scott, you're a little too late. You know, a little too late. So we playing him in the last play. He says to James Worthy, he says, you guys don't have to worry about it. I'm going to go right over that corner. He said, they're going to set a screen for me. We're taking the ball out. He said, I'm going to curl right over. And he's telling us to play. He's telling us to play before they even take it out. He said, I'm going to go right over to that corner, and I'm going to catch it, and I'm going to shoot it, and I'm going to tie the game or win the game, whatever the case may be. They take the ball out, and I think it was either Danny or DJ, the late, great DJ.
Yeah.
Take the ball out, the man curl right to the corner, caught the shot, shot a three, game over. It's like, are you effing kidding me?
Larry Bird. Larry, biggest trash talk I've ever played against.
Always talk trash. Talk trash on the floor. It was talking so much trash during the Dream Team. And talk trash against us, talk trash against everyone else. But, you know, the difference is he could back it up.
I remember a couple times he drove to the hole, and I tried to jump and try to block the shot. You know, like, you better sit down, boy. You're going to pop your arm out of the socket before you get this. Or before I got there, there was a big thing between he and Bernard King. Mm-hmm. And I remember the guys telling me that he used to run by the bench telling, Hubie Brown was the coach. Hubie, you better get Bernard off me. I'm liable to get 60 tonight. You better put somebody else on me.
There was no shutting him up.
It's my greatest memory in the NBA. I mean, I'm playing 15 minutes a game. Ed Pinckney's playing 15 minutes a game. And we'd come into Hellenic College, and we'd sit in that little nasty locker room back there, and nobody felt like practicing. I mean, you could tell that the locker room was down, and everybody's sitting there, and it's just like, we've been 3 games in 4 nights or whatever, and Eddie Pinckney would be sitting there putting on his shoes, and Larry'd come in there, and he'd have his bag over his shoulder and his gray sweats on. He'd stand over there, and he'd stand right over Ed Pinckney every day, and he'd go, Ed Pinckney, Ed Pinckney. I am going to torture your ass today. And I mean, you know, Bucky, I mean, and then it was on. I mean, I'd start laughing, and Chief would look over there and go, what the hell are you laughing at? I'm going to torture your ass too. And I mean, then it was on. And I mean, nobody felt like practicing, but he'd come in and just utter those little remarks, and we'd have a great practice.
We're coming to an end of a road trip. And the last game was going to be, I believe, in Portland. And Larry was well known for predicting what he was going to do on the road trips. Because we'd have these, 7, 8, 9 game road trips. Larry said, we're going to win them all, and I'm going to average a triple-double. And the reporters would say, yeah, right. And then he would go out and do it, right? And so it comes to, when you have the game in Seattle the night before, and the reporters come to him, and it's all the same guys. Because in those days, the reporters were part of the team. And it was fantastic. They traveled with us, stayed in the same hotels. We ate our meals together. It was just fantastic. They asked Larry, well, so Larry, you come to the end of the road trip. Well, what do you got in store? You've achieved all your milestones. He said, I'm going to play this game left-handed. And they said, yeah, right. I said, no, I'm going to play left-handed. And if the game's in doubt in the fourth quarter, I'll switch back to right-handed. But he played the entire game left-handed. And he had a triple-double.
As Bird goes to 47 points.
I have one real good story on that Portland trip, something you want to get to. But when they beat Portland in just one of the most unbelievable games I've ever watched, well, guess what we do afterward? We go out to a restaurant with a lot of the Blazers.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So I was there, and Drexler's there, and Cheeky's there, and it's like, and Walton is there, and a big bunch of people there. And Walton gets up and he makes a toast to the game, to the win. He says, "This is the first time that I have ever beaten the Blazers since I left." And Bird says, "Of course it's the first time. It's the first time you played with me, you asshole."
Larry never really talked to me. But one particular in the 84 series, we're playing in the Forum. And this particular play down, it was a timeout, and they're coming down, and Larry gets me at the top of the key, and he's walking me underneath his basket. He goes, "Coop, I'm ready to wear your ass out." What? Okay, I get down to my best defensive stance. He goes down the lane, he comes off the left side, and Robert Parrish sets a pick. Comes off, and we knew the play. We knew what was coming up. And Kareem was ready, and as Larry comes off the pick, shoulder to shoulder with Parrish, and I'm trailing behind him, he catches the basketball right about the elbow. And he gets the ball, and he goes up, and Kareem stops him from turning the corner. Larry catches the ball, he goes up in the air, and here I come. And I'm like, I'm getting ready to smash this shit, man. It's a great pass. I hit Robert Parrish for rolls to the basket, and Robert dunks it. Larry looks over his shoulder at me, and he laughs. He said, "I told you, motherfucker." And you know what?
We were playing the Phoenix Suns. The game was going back and forth in the fourth period. Phoenix up by 2. And so KC drew up a play, obviously, for Larry. So we broke our huddle early, and Phoenix was still strategizing, trying to make sure everybody knew what the play was, where they need to be. Larry walks into the huddle, and Tom Chambers was guarding him. And so he walked and stood beside Tom Chambers and told Chambers the only white man that could ever come close to guarding him was God. And he pointed to the three-point line. "You see that spot right there? I'm going to shoot a three-pointer in your face and walk off the floor." He allowed Larry to catch it, turn. Larry turned and shot it in a spot he said he was going to shoot it. He walked off the floor holding up that crooked right finger of his, and it was all net. He didn't look back to see did it go in. He just walked out the floor holding up that one crooked finger.
Bird was the only one that really kind of, in his soft-spoken way, when we talk about guys talking trash.
Yeah.
"Hey, Rook, good to see you. Hey, great college career. I'm going to catch the ball. I'm going to pump fake. You're going to reach for it. You're going to get fouled. 2 tweets, you're going to have a seat. Lo and behold, Dan, he catches the ball. He pump fakes. I go for it. I reach. First foul. I come down court. Scott Skiles kicks me the ball. I shoot a 3. In your face, Larry Legend. Yes, I'm feeling good, Dan. He catches the ball again. Catches it. My dumb self reaches for it again. Tweet, go have a seat. I see you second quarter, Rook. So that's how Larry Bird christened me into the NBA.
Bird talk shit like we talk. Let me tell y'all something. Larry Bird was cold. Cold dude, man.
Or he'd say, Danny, give me the ball, or DJ, give me the ball. I got this guy in the torture chamber down here. Why the guy was standing right there listening to him say it.
Larry Bird, he talks trash a lot. So we're playing the Celtics. My job was to stop the ball. So I stopped the ball. DJ's coming. He kicks to Larry into the corner. Now my job is to go close Larry out. So I'm running out at Larry. But he's talking to me as I'm running out. I don't know why you're running out here. Who actually has the presence of mind to think of talking while they're about to shoot a shot? Who does that? Larry Bird. He said, I'm gonna let you get one step away from me, I'm gonna shoot it right in your face. Sure enough, he let me get right here. He shoots it. And it goes all net. And he says, see, you did all that running for nothing. Only Larry Bird.
I just remember my first day being in the car and or getting off the plane, and I see a sign, and it says Mr. Bird and Mr. Weber.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no way. And so I get in the car, and it's Larry Bird. And I shake his hand. I'm quiet, trying to feel that balance in the car and everything. And it's the old school limo sitting in the back. And when we get out, he doesn't say much. But when we get out, he goes, hope you get your sleep tonight because I'm going to bust your ass tomorrow.
Yes.
And I didn't know what to say, but I knew this is a moment you have to say something. Like you can't. And I was like, Larry, your back is already hurting, man. You need to take it easy. And then I run to the room and I call my father. I'm like, Dad, Larry Bird was just talking. It was a great move. It was like he knows me and he's talking.
And I remember playing against Larry Bird my second year. He was always talking so much trash to me. One game in Boston, went out for the jump ball. I'm scared to death. Bird walks out at the jump. And the veterans on my team said, Eddie, just don't pay attention to him. He walks out, and he just stands next to me, and he leans over, and he looks at me. He said, do you honestly think you gonna guard me, motherfucker? You all think this rookie gonna guard me? I'm gonna bust you up. He walks around, stands in front of me, he said, I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm gonna wear your ass out. Game starts, and he's just wearing me out. He came down, he said, you talking all that junk. I bet you can't do this. And he raises up from Steph Curry range, and he shoots an air ball. And I look at him, he's like, that don't matter. It's the fact that I can do it and stay in the game. I bet you can't.
And Larry Bird is like first quarter busting our ass. Coach, timeout. I want to guard Larry Bird. You want to guard Larry? Yeah, I want to guard Larry. So we come out the timeout, me and Bird going back down the court. He like, Rook. Hey, Rook. I'm like, what? He like, what you doing over here? I said, I'm about to lock your shit up. He said, first time I catch on the wing, I'm a jab, shoot. Caught that bitch on the wing. Jab, shoot. Back down, came back down again. He said, I'm gonna catch it down low post, jump hook your ass. Third time, he said, hey, I'll be catching behind the hash. I said, so what? You ain't gonna shoot that motherfucker? Man, he loaded that motherfucker.
Larry Bird ain't never played no great defense. He like sagging off a little bit. So he tell the guy, you can't shoot, but I'm not worrying about guard you. I said, man, shoot it in the face.
He'd go by an opposing team's bench. And it was never a team that was a bad team. It was always a good team. I can remember a particular game we played against the Clippers, and it was a better than normal year for the Clippers. And we were out there, close game. Bird is having an okay game, but it's tight in the end. Bird tells the coach, I'm going to get the ball in the corner and I'm going to shoot a three and the game is over. He told the opposing team. He's telling them, right. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, come on. I mean, you hear these stories, but they can't be true. In the corner, 3, doesn't even look, just walks right off the court and into the locker room. And the dude just told the opposing team where he was going to shoot the ball from. And it was incredible to watch him play and to witness his greatness, man. It was unbelievable.
At that time, he talked more trash than probably anybody that was playing the game. I got a great Larry Bird story for you. I actually met Larry Bird before I went to the NBA. It was after my junior year in the summertime. We was at this nightclub just hanging out on a Saturday night, and we saw members of the Boston Celtics. You had Cedric Maxwell, you had Kevin McHale, Quinn Buckner, and Larry Bird. Larry Bird walks right up to me and he goes, "Are you Kenny Walker?" And I go, "Yeah." You know, I was kind of shocked that he knew who I was. And he reached out his hand to shake my hand. He said, "Okay, Kenny Walker." He said, "My name is Larry Bird." And he said, "I can't wait till you get to the NBA to bust your ass." and he started laughing. I didn't know what to say. This is Larry Bird. And then they leave. And right when they get ready to leave, Larry Bird looks at me. He said, "Remember what I told you?" He said, when you come to the NBA, I'm going to bust your ass." And I just laughed and everything. They went on their way.
The art of trash talking. Would you consider yourself a trash talker?
Not really. I mean,
Come on, coach.
A lot of people do it.
I don't know if you remember this game, Larry, but we played in Hartford. It was an exhibition game. We went up 1, and we walk out on the court, and Benson is guarding Larry, right? And Larry looks at me and he was calling me cheesy. He goes, "Cheesy, like you putting him on me?" He said, you putting him on me? I was like, "That's all I got, man. That's all I got right now." And he goes, "I'm taking it right down to the baseline. I'm gonna shoot it right over him." So.
All right, here's Dennis. Gets it into Bird. Larry, a runner. Got it! Ball game's over. Boston wins.
After the game, our buses were lined up next to each other, right? And Larry goes, "Hey, man, don't ever put that guy on me." Like, right?
X-Man told a story about Larry Bird talking shit to you, saying, "I'm the best motherfucker in Indiana to put a 3 into my balls." That's true?
It is very true, man. He got to Boston that night. He had some knee pain. I was like, "It's a hell of a time for you to come up with a knee pain." Actually, I looked at the boy on Sean Kemp, Larry Bird. Before the game, I was over there rubbing my hands looking at him like, "I'm about to get your ass, man." That morning, they came out with a USA Today article, and they said that Larry didn't have it no more. So he came out that night to make a statement, and I was just the prime candidate. Yeah. Before the game, he told me, he was like, he just shook his head at me. He said, "Man, it's going to be a fucked up night for you." He gave me 46 and 3. When he was actually calling out bank shots, he would say, "Next time, bank shot left side, I'm going to pump fake you. Your dumb ass going to go for it."
He would tell you that.
What you think he did, man? A quick pump fake, dog, and he go for that shit. He
got you.
Man, come on, man.
Off the glass. Oh, boy.
When we started playing, he was cooking everybody, but talking shit and telling them about it. Kevin McHale was a bad motherfucker too, and he used to talk a lot of shit. Share this quick story. We were playing Utah. Back then, you score on a play, you just keep running it again until they stop it. I would have to hit Reggie, go through, set a cross screen for Larry, and Karl Malone was guarding Larry. Larry was killing him. Kevin McHale was locking Karl Malone up on the other end. And Larry was talking about, "Yeah, we two bad white boys, ain't we?" I remember going across, setting the screen on Karl the first time. Larry came off, caught it, scored. As we were running back down the court, Karl Malone said, "Young fella, you set a screen on me again like that, I'm going to knock your head off your shoulders." The whole time I'm running down court, I'm like, "Damn, is he really going to do this shit?" And I know we're about to run the play again, right? Because we just scored on him. So I hit Reggie again. I go across to set the pick. I'm standing in the middle of the lane. Larry cuts off, and I see Karl rear his forearm back like this, so I'm standing in. I'm like, is this motherfucker really gonna try to do it? And then he came through, and at the last second, I jumped out the way, and I was like, damn, he really? Yeah. And he was gonna take it out on me because Larry was busting his ass, busting his ass and talking shit. But
Bird has swag.
Oh yeah, he was the biggest. They say the greatest
He
trash
talked
talker.
more trash than anybody I've ever seen in my life, Chris. I saw it firsthand. Oh my God. So we're playing in Boston. I'm on the bench at the time. We have Derek McKee, one of the top defensive guys around. He catches the ball and looks over at our bench and goes, I'm going to take 2 dribbles right, crossover left. So we're all on the bench like, this dude's...
And
he's
Derek
not for
McKee
real.
is on
And Derek's on him. Don't let him do that to you, D. He takes his 2 dribbles, crossover, pull-up jump shot. And looks over at our bench, and we're all looking at each other like, is he for real? Just like when we put Scott Webman on it. Come on, that's embarrassing. Don't put him on me.
Bird said, don't put a white guy on
Don't put a white guy. He talked more trash than any. I don't think anybody can talk trash like him. That he could back it up. That's what we looked at. It's like, this dude here is for real.
Always this dialogue, and it was just his telling you in your ear what he's going to get ready to do to you, and there's nothing you can do about it, and you can't stop it.
That's why he called himself Larry Legend. What's so funny is I stole a saying from him that I heard he used to say. They said here, at the beginning of the game when they're shaking hands and stuff, Larry would say, all right, fellas, we're going to treat them like some little hoes. We're going to get a little pussy, and we're going to get out of here. And they said that's what Larry Bird used to say to the opponents. and when I heard it, I was like, I need that. I need to say that. That is hilarious. That's how you start off a basketball game.
Bird used to tell people, I remember he told me a story about Xavier McDaniel. He said,
The X-Man, yeah.
X, I'm going to get the ball right here. I'm going to shoot a jumper right in your face.
I said, I know I'm going to be waiting. And he said, I'm going to get it right here. I'm going to shoot it right in your face.
And then he got the ball and shot it right in his face.
Came out, went right about that exact spot and shot a shot right in my face. And, he was like, I didn't mean to leave 2 seconds on the clock. He wanted to shoot it with 0 seconds on the clock. I walked back to the sideline like, damn.
And Bird says to X, I told you I was going to do it.
I like your accent. I like it. That's pretty good. But that was Larry. I mean, Larry would just, and he was saying in such a calm way that you didn't think it was trash talking, but it's trash talking. You're not going to tell me you're going to go over there and shoot the ball in my face. That's trash talking. But he would tell you before the play even started.
Bird didn't talk trash to you, did
my
he?
God. Bird talked trash to everybody.
But didn't he? Did he get to a point where he had respect for you?
I always tell this story about Larry Bird. I remember him, he was cursing under his breath. And I asked him, I said, Larry, what's going on with you? He says, you guys are being disrespectful to me. And I says, what are you talking about? He says, you guys are putting a white guy on me. That's disrespectful.
Wait, who's the white guy you put on him?
I can't remember who it was. I just started laughing. I had no comeback. But he says, it's disrespectful when y'all put a white guy on me. And I'm sitting there like, I'm laughing in the middle of a game.
Larry is the ultimate trash talker. But his greatest trash talk was, we're about to play, I'm in Dallas. We're about to do a jump ball at half court when we were playing Boston. Our superstar, Mark Aguirre, who was the first pick of the draft in 1981, somehow became ill that game. So Larry Bird we were walking out to, how all the players shake hands before the game. He says, where's Mark Aguirre? I said, oh, he got a little sick. He started cursing. That, you know what? He's scared of me. I said, nobody's scared of you, Bird. He said, I'm going to put 50 on you guys tonight.
Oh, my.
So that was an understatement.
Leading three-point field goal shooters as Larry Bird hits it and counters. Count it for Larry Bird. Larry Bird, three-pointer. Count it.
He has 50.
Remember, sitting on the bench, watching Kevin McHale and Larry Bird. And Larry Bird did something. To me, I'm still marveled at this. And he got so many people. It was a timeout by our teammates. Bart Kofold had a camera. Right. He's taking pictures. So Larry Bird came over there and looked at our bench, and he said, 3-pointer from right over here. So I'm sitting over there looking like, Babe Ruth, calling your shot already, right? Yeah. So Isaiah, I'm sitting there looking. He looked down at the floor. Hell, everybody looked down at the floor. He like he threw something. And he hit a 3. And I remember Kevin kind of looking over at the bench like this is gonna be a long night.
Situation where I jumped out, had Larry Bird dead to rights.
Yeah.
Took a charge, whistle blew, I was all jacked up, and he goes, "Rookie, what are you talking about? That foul's on you." And I said, "What?" And then Danny Ainge walked by and said, "You better know who you're talking to, rookie."
Yeah, that's the way it was, man.
If the NBA had a trash talking trophy, it would most certainly be named after Larry Bird, because he could be loud and in your face, or he could be soft spoken and relaxed. Larry Bird, the undisputed greatest trash talker of all time.
Great trash talk stories about Larry Bird told by NBA legends. I mean, Larry Bird, like I said earlier, is the greatest trash talker of all time. No ands, ifs, or buts. Just the way he trash talks, just backing it up every single night that he played. Competitiveness of trash talk in terms of who's coming in second place. He wanted to be guarded by brothers. I mean, just all the stuff that he said, and he didn't do it in like a mean type of way. It's just the competitive nature that he had, and also he just did it in fun because it was fun. Because he had all the skills, and he knows he's going to win because he had like a very high IQ. He knows what to do in situations. He knows how to win. So, but yeah, he's probably my favorite player of all time, other than Michael Jordan, just to listen and go back and listen to all these trash talk stories about him just shows how much of a great player he was. I would never take him out of my top 10 of greatest NBA players of all time. I know a lot of you wouldn't take him out of the top 10 because he definitely needs to be up there. I don't even care what current NBA player got more championships. I don't care what current NBA player, got more accolades. I'm not taking Larry Bird out of that top 10 anytime soon. And you know why? All you gotta do is go back right here and listen to the stories from NBA legends. And there's more stories from NBA legends to let you know how much of a badass Larry Bird was. So if you like this video, definitely leave a like. Make sure you comment down below your thoughts. Make sure you subscribe to Itzjustjp for more content. I'm JP, and we'll see you in the next video.